Welcome back to the Metronome Madness League. We've got the Master Mewtwo's going up against the Gravely Gengars for their last match of the season. This should be interesting as Duskmane Necrozma? Yeah, Duskmane, that's the name. Duskmane Necrozma goes up against Zacian here. Should be an interesting matchup. Sounding pretty epic right now as Zacian starts things off for us. It's going to go for an Iron Defense. The setup right now, raising his defenses, trying to stay alive here on the field. Honestly, both these Pokemon are pretty strong. They're two of the strongest Pokemon in the game as Necrozma goes for the Heat Crash. Heat Crash is going to do a little bit. That Iron Defense definitely helped it survive that. I mean, it wouldn't have been knocked out, but it definitely reduced the amount of damage that was done to that Zacian, so that was a good move by the Gengars there. Able to tank that hit, and Zacian's gonna go again, this time with an Aurora Veil. Of course, that fails as there is no hail out on the field. And there we go, Necrozma with the Cosmic Power. That's the last thing you want to see. It's gonna be raising its defenses, and it's already a Steel-type Pokemon. Oh my goodness, that is one bulky looking Necrozma right now. There goes the Zacian with the Slash. That's gonna do absolutely nothing. Yeah, oh wow, that was more than expected, but still, yes, resisted and did not do that much damage to the Zacian as it goes for a Scratch. I don't know why they're clawing at each other right now, but that seems to be the game. We'll see what Zacian chooses to do here. Zacian with the Powder Snow. Powder Snow, not very effective. Barely moved the bar there. As Necrozma looks to retaliate. It's going to go for it with a Substitute. So it will cut some of its own HP. But with the defenses that Necrozma has, you have to wonder how long will it take Zacian to get rid of that Substitute. So that could put the Mewtwo's on top of this battle. We'll see how it happens for them as the Struggle Bug comes out. A move that is not very effective against the Necrozma, only doing a few points of damage as Necrozma goes for an attack. There goes the Brine. Brine doing a decent amount of damage to the Zacian. Zacian is still able to tank the hits though. Their HP is about even, considering Necrozma did most of his damage to itself by using a Substitute. There goes the Flamethrower. That is a super effective move. Will it get rid of the Substitute? The Substitute does not fade away. It is still out there. There goes Necrozma now, as it goes for a Brine twice in a row. It should be a real low probability of that in the Metronome Madness League, but I feel like we've seen that happen a few times. They use the same move twice in a row. It's Zacian in the yellow now. And there goes the Core Enforcer. That is a waste of a pretty strong move since it's against a Substitute. The Core Enforcer does land and it's not very effective, but the Substitute does get knocked out. So Zacian is finally able to get rid of that Substitute. And Necrozma goes for a Blizzard. It's avoided, giving Zacian a free turn to attack. Now, they already used a pretty strong move. Can they follow it up with a second one now that they can hit the Necrozma? No, they go for a Powder Snow again. Why? I have no idea. But they freeze the Necrozma. Maybe that's why. Oh, it thaws out immediately. Unfortunate for the Gengars. I mean, that was a good play. I didn't expect it to freeze, but it did. Unfortunately, it didn't work for them, and the rollout comes into play. That could be very dangerous if Necrozma is allowed to get up to speed. The positive part that the Gengars have going for them is Zacian did raise up his defenses with that Iron Defense in the beginning of the match, so it may be able to tank a few rollouts. That way, maybe wasting a few of the 5 turns that it gets before it starts sweeping across the Gengar's team. There was rollout number 2. Zacian probably only able to take one more. There it goes with a Haze. Oh, that's a bad look, isn't it? Doesn't that get rid of all stats? Yeah. So that's going to get rid of its own defensive buff. Just sealing its fate as Zacian faints. It was a critical hit. Not sure it mattered, but Zacian definitely shouldn't have got rid of its own defenses. You have to think it might have been able to tank a third rollout, giving its opponent, its partners, excuse me, a chance to survive, and it just wasted it. Oh, that was such a bad look. Now Landorus comes out onto the field. Necrozma's on its 4th rollout right now. It might just one-shot the Landorus. We have to see what happens. Landorus gets to go first. It goes for a Nuzzle. That is the smartest play they could have done. The Nuzzle will force Necrozma to be paralyzed. Or it didn't get fully paralyzed. I thought, oh, so, I guess whatever Necrozma has, it can't be paralyzed. But Landorus is going to go for a Spatial Rend this time after actually tanking the rollout. Number 4 did not knock it out. I was expecting it to take it out in one shot and it didn't. So Necrozma does get to use 5 rollouts, but it does not get to sweep through the Gengar's team. However, that is devastating as they lose 2 Pokemon to it. Necrozma's still looking pretty good. And they have to move on to their last Pokemon, which is Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh does have pressure, which will reduce the amount of turns the Mewtwo will be able to use. But they've got to have a good plan if they want to win. There goes the Aromatic Mist. That is going to fail as Necrozma goes for another move. This time it goes for its own Nuzzle. Nuzzle's going to work on Ho-Oh. It is super effective and it paralyzes it. And that is the worst situation for the Gengars right now. Necrozma going again, this time with a Mega Drain. That will be not very effective. So not a lot of health going to be gained back from that either. So not the best move. Unfortunately for the Gengars, the Ho-Oh is fully paralyzed. Necrozma once again. And this time it's going to go for a Guillotine. Oh my gosh. And it lands the one-hit KO move. Mewtwo's just said, in this, we're done. And that is a sweep, ladies and gentlemen. A sweep from the Mewtwo's. The Gengars just go down way too easily there. Now, the Gengars already solidified a spot in the playoffs. So that loss did not matter too much for them. And the Mewtwo's are already out of the playoffs. So despite the sweep that they pulled off tonight, it was just for pride. They could not get into the playoffs. But what an excellent match. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more of the Metronome Madness League, and I will see you in the next one.